Now that I have this mechanism working pretty well, I'm going to try and show you how it works. So a couple parts here I'll try to identify first. There's of course, there's the pawl and the ratchet is right here. And when you disengage, the shaft spins on the inside, but not the outside part here. And of course, when it engages, then the whole thing gets carried around. The other thing I want to show you is this lever back here, which moves up and down. And that's controlled by the governor. I have to make the governor yet. But when it moves up, then it will lock out the pawl and the ratchet. When it moves down, it will allow them to engage. There's another thing here, this little bar here, that moves. And what this is it's a safety precaution. So right now, see, doesn't matter whether the governor is in or out, it's going to lock the pawl and ratchet out. It does that because the piston is not at the bottom of the cylinder. You would not want this engine to take a cycle, allow fuel and air to go into the cylinder and ignite that when the piston is halfway up the cylinder. That could destroy the engine by blowing the cylinder right out of the top of the engine. So there you go. So notice I lift the rack and the Sprague clutch freewheels, and when I push it down, it engages. So when this drops to the bottom of the cylinder, you'll see this mechanism pitch over and allow the pawl and ratchet to engage. So when the engine is up to speed, this is fired, and it will drop back down again. The governor will move this arm up. And when that happens, even though this little lockout arm is moved over, the governor is now holding the pawl and ratchet apart and not letting the engine cycle again. So then when the engine gets slow enough, that cycle can happen again, and then hopefully it'll speed up and it'll lift and stop the engine from continuing to take cycles. So that's basically the mechanism. I still have to add the valve, and I still have to add the push rod, and I have to make the governor yet, but the engine's getting on toward being complete. One of the things that I've been working on this last week or so is trying to get the pawl and the ratchet to engage and disengage cleanly. Sometimes, if you don't get the parts made quite right, the pawl and the ratchet will disengage, but not all the way, so they will shatter against each other. Not only is that a really annoying sound, but it also wears the parts down. But I think I've got it in pretty good shape now. It engages and disengages cleanly. Of course, you know, the piston's gonna, there we go, come on. Come on, you can do it. There you go. So, yeah. So now if I hold that up, then see, the mechanism works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it, the way it's working. So anyway, that's the progress so far.